And a very warm welcome from Pantelleria, Lima India Charlie Golf. It's one of the islands just off the coast of Sicily to the west of Sicily, and we're in the delightful Fokker F27, which is a freeware aircraft from FlightSim.to. It's absolutely wonderful, real retrospective look at turboprops in the 1950s and 60s, I guess. And we're going to be flying to Lampedusa, which is another island off the coast of Sicily. Well, it's between North Africa and Sicily, to the west of Malta, I think it is. We'll look at the charts in a sec. And it's got 2 runways. We'll be operating off runway 25 today, and we'll be using Beyond ATC, although I'm in a bad mood with them, and I'll explain why in a bit. And we're going to do it old school. We're going to fly a star and a right, I'm not quite sure what GSX was telling me. They're going to stop the engine to request ground services. I didn't ask for any ground services. Never mind. Anyway, we'll be doing a star and VOR and DME. And at this end we'll be doing a SID, which is essentially just straight out from the runway, then intercept a radial and then a right turn back overhead the island and VOR, because just to the south of where we are we've got some fairly high ground. These are all very volcanic, I guess, these islands. It's very picturesque, Pantelleria. It always amuses me that at this airport, this is the fire station. It's nearly bigger than the terminal. Well, it looks bigger anyway. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but anyway, it just amuses me where they're expecting a lot of trouble here. So let's have a quick look at the charts. So here is there's the coast of Sicily, that's the toe of Italy, North Africa, Tunisia, and we've got Pantelleria here. That's Syfax, I think, there. So midway between Sicily and North Africa. Lampedusa is down here, and that's Malta over there. So short flight. We're just going to go up to flight level 130. I think that's what we filed. And we'll have a look at the departure, and we'll brief on the approach en route. So the departure from Pantelleria, just have the VOR dialed in. We go outbound on the runway heading, then we pick up the 264 radial until we're 2,500 feet or above, and it's a right turn, max 230 knots. Well, we won't be doing anywhere near that in the Fokker. Max 230 knots, right turn back overhead the field, overhead Pantelleria, then outbound on 155 radial. I've got a little nav map running as well. I don't have the aircraft switched on all the trails, so we're going to do this old school, and we're going to be flying this DME arc at the other end, which is actually the star, from a waypoint called EMCOL. EMCOL is 70 miles, I think it was 69 when I last measured it, but anyway, on the 146 radial from Pantelleria. So when we finished the departure, we get to waypoint RUBRI, then we're going to take a left turn to intercept the 146 radial out of Pantelleria. When we get to 69 miles, we'll be at EMCOL. So fairly straightforward. Then we'll do a DME arc. I think it's a 17 DME, but we'll brief on it, and then the VOR DME approach into Pantelleria itself. So all fairly straightforward. SimBrief has asked me to load, or recommended I load, let's have a look, 2,000 kilos of fuel, which we've pretty much got, 1990, that'll do nicely, and 2,800 in a, I'm not quite sure why the whole thing is moving away. There we go, 2,800 payload. So, alright, so we fully loaded. Well, it's quite a nice view, isn't it? Lovely, look at that. It's a holiday island, I think mostly Pantelleria, certainly Lampedusa is. And so let's get underway. I'm going to switch the developer camera off. So we're back in the aeroplane now. Okay, so I'm going to just hide the yoke, which in the Fokker just drops down a little bit out of sight. And we're on ground power. We just check that. So ground power is selected here. So we're on that. We'll get the navigation lights, and we'll get the seat belt and no smoking signs on. We're going to dial in Pantelleria VOR 1161. This has got 2 VORs, 2 ADFs, and 1 DME. So 1161 goes in VOR box 1. 1161, we've got it already dialed, and it goes into DME already dialed. And so that's all good. And we need to get the departure plate, and the departure is 264 radial to 2,500 minimum. And we just need to check the runway heading 25 is 253. So we set heading bug to 253. I'm going to find it. I'm not quite sure where it is, so we'll just move heading. There we go, 253. So we're going to scroll it all the way around. We should ident them as well. So 253 is roughly there, and we need 264 on the outbound radial. So 264 goes here. And it's not come in, so it's not sure why. Let's just double check that. So 1161. Oh, I've got to get the avionics switched on. There we go. Avionics. That should come in. There we go. So that's all working. Need to get the fuel pumps on. We've got the the GPU attached. That's the front right to the aircraft. So we're going to start number 1 first. Before we do that, though, we need to call up for clearance. I've got to start Beyond ATC. I'm in a bad mood with Beyond ATC. While it fires up, I'll just explain why I'm in a bad mood with them. Because I've asked them 2 things. One is to implement retro call signs. So I like flying retro liveries, Flybe, Monarch, Britannia. But of course, if you put that call sign into SimBrief, you get called all sorts of things. Rarely do you get called the appropriate call sign for that carrier. Pan Am's supported, Flybe is supported, and Alitalia is supported. I'd like all of them supported, but they're not, and they just did an emphatic no. The other reason I'm not happy with them is because I wanted them to remove the colloquial phraseology that they've recently introduced. That is to say that your co-pilot often asks for clearance with ready to aviate at runway 02, and that is not in the civil aviation publications. You won't find ready to aviate or ready to copy airways. You know, you might get that in some backwater in America, but you don't get it in the UK. And I think probably you won't get that at JFK or Washington. You know, you might get it somewhere in the backwaters, but not at the main airport. So I think it's not acceptable. That's my opinion. I've asked them just to show me any clip on YouTube or wherever of an aircraft using that terminology. They've declined to do that. So, you know, I said I'd stand down if they could show me that, but they haven't. And they say that they've implemented these colloquial phraseologies because they were asked to by a certain group of users. So if a certain group of users can ask for change, which BATC have acted upon and implemented, why can't another group of users, I know I'm just one of one, but why can't I have the same right and ask them to change it back? Or, as I've said, do two things. One, make it selectable, in other words, I don't mind, I like colloquial phraseology, or two, make it regionalised, so whenever you're in that backwater in America, wherever it might be, that you hear that sort of phraseology, because I don't like it and I don't want it. But anyway, rant over, I promise. I'm just loading up Beyond ATC now.
Beyond ATC connected.
And what we can do is initialising the air traffic. We need to get our clearance. Once it's finished initialising the traffic, completed, so we'll get Pantelleria Tower and we'll get our clearance.
Artovia 995 on our way to Lampedusa Airport.
On our way to Lampedusa Airport. On our way, that's a prime example of
Artovia
this.
995, Pantelleria Tower, expect runway 26. Climb flight level 070 runway centerline, then expect radar vectors RUBRI. Squawk 1000.
Expect runway 26. Climb flight level 070 on runway centerline, then expect radar vectors RUBRI. Squawk 1000. Artovia 995.
Artovia 995, read back correct. Call me back when ready for start or taxi.
Wilco, Artovia 995.
So we are in a lovely ATI livery. Call sign for ATI is, well, unsurprisingly ATI, but we're being called Art Avia, which is nonsensical. So there's one thing, and then it says, you know, co-pilot asked for clearance, and he said, on our way to Lampedusa. I just don't know. I've never asked for IFR clearances in that way, but you know, I am one small voice. And here's another. It's giving me a second clearance. I don't know why it does that, but it does. So we'll just ignore it, pretend otherwise. I'm going to shut the doors, get rid of the stairs, and shut the doors, front and back.
Artovia 995.
Co-pilot sneezed. I don't know if you saw that.
Artovia
I'm going to look at the doors, make sure they're closing. Yeah, closing front and back. I need to get the anti-collision lights
Artovia
on.
995.
Okay, and we're going to start number 1 first. So fuel pumps are on. So we're going to just start up only. We're not going to ask for a pushback. We're going to taxi from stand.
3 request
And I'll
startup.
disconnect the APU shortly. Not the APU, the
Artovia
ground power.
995, engine start approved. Call when ready for taxi.
Right. So
Affirm. Startup approved. Artovia 995.
So I've got FSU IPC, the payware version. On the download page of the Fokker, there are instructions to get the HP fuel levers assigned to Axis. So I've actually got mine assigned using FSU IPC. So I've got my left fuel cock, left throttle, right fuel cock on my honeycomb setup, as they would be, you know, as they are here. So okay, so throttles are closed, fuel cocks are off. I'm going to start number 2 first. So we just come up to the starter. Sorry, I'm going to start number 1 first. I'm going to move it from 2 to 1. Then we're going to switch it on and hit the starter. Okay, so we're looking for it to wind up. There we go. Oh, here we go. So we're going to get to 10 and we're going to put the fuel on. So we've got 10. Fuel can come on. There we go, good start. And we just check that the oil temperature's coming up, oil pressure is coming up. So we've got a good start at number 1. So we can close down the GPU, the ground power unit. I can click here, or I can alternatively just change the power from external to aircraft. But before we do that, switch number 1 inverter on, number 1 generator, and now number 1 alternator. So we're completely running off the aircraft. Now we can switch off the ground power, and that means that the GPU is now disconnected and gone. And now we can start number 1. So number 1, select number 1 here. Sorry, number 2, and then we hit the starter, and we look for 10%. So there it is, winding up. So 10% we have. Okay, so oil temperature coming up, oil pressure coming up. So we're good. Okay, so let's get the generator, the inverter, and the number 2 alternator. They're all on. We'll get the static port on and pitot head on. And now we can call for, well, we've got to get flaps, 1 stage of flap, and we can get taxi clearance. Our fuel trims are set to 10, which is correct for our elevation and the outside temperature. You can use a little slide rule up here to do that. And I just need to press B to get the QNH 1021. Okay, so we can call for taxi.
Art Ovia 995, request taxi.
Artavia 995, runway 26 taxi via Alpha. Hold short runway 21.
Runway 26 taxi via Alpha. Hold short runway 21, Art Ovia 995.
So we've got a disparity with the runways. It's saying runway 26 and runway 21, but Navigraph is showing 20 and 25. It doesn't matter. It's just a technicality. But anyway, it wants us to taxi along Alpha, hold before crossing 21 or 20, and then we'll hold again at before entering 25. We will backtrack. We're 600 feet up here, and it's a warm day, so we will backtrack. So we'll get our taxi light on in a second. We want to blind the ground crew. Switch our parking brake off, and we'll just get a little bit of power. There we go. We'll just taxi away from the stand. Plenty of room. It's only on 6 minutes. Okay, and we'll get our taxi light on now. And we'll just bing bong the flight attendant just to say cabin ready. So we won't cross this hold here.
Artavia 995, cross runway 21 at Alpha. Continue taxi via Alpha.
Cross runway 21 at Alpha.
We don't have any
taxi
strokes
via
to
Alpha,
run, so
Art Ovia 995.
just carry on taxiing as we are. It's a slight ramp here. And don't really want to cross the hold. I'm not sure where it is though. We'll just pretend it's here somewhere. What we'll do, we'll come to a stop. We'll just ask for departure.
Art Ovia 995, ready to go, runway 26.
Artavia 995, Pantelleria Tower, wind 175 at 9er, fly heading 160, runway 26, cleared for takeoff.
Fly heading 160, runway 26, cleared for takeoff, Art Ovia 995.
Right, so landing light can come on. I'm just going to ident the VORs and the DMEs. There's no separate ident, I don't think, for the DME, but we've got an ident for the VOR. Oops, hang on. Let's get taxiing along the centre line. Thank you very much. Okay, and we will just turn around. We're going to turn around on this side of the runway because sitting on the left, you get a better view of it. And we won't go the other side of the piano keys. I don't want to fall off the end of the world. Thank you. It's quite a way up here, 600 feet, I think. Okay, and round we go. Okay. Right then, so fuel HP Cox to full. Let's hide that. Just check our heading knob is set to the runway QDM and 264 is dialed in. We'll get our landing lights on, they are on. We'll just start the clock. There we go, clock is started, so let's give it some welly. Right. There we go, full power is achieved. So power set. This aeroplane doesn't really accelerate, it just gets faster, a bit faster. Let's hold that centre line. So the wind is coming from 175, so I've got a little bit of left aileron to help me keep the centre line. There's a Voli di Sicilia aircraft ATR, 90 knots, we're looking for 100. So 100 of V1 and rotate, round we go, and positive rate of climb, gear can come up, gear's coming up. And we're just going to maintain the runway heading. Now the VOR is coming in, we're going to take a right turn to take that course. Okay, and we're just going to put our nose down just
Artavia 995, contact Pantelleria departure 119.35.
Contact Pantelleria departure 119.35, Artavia 995.
Double climb out. Okay. Just wait for that
Artavia 995,
course deviation bar to come in. I'm looking to go 2,500 feet or above.
995, Pantelleria departure identified. Climb to flight level 100.
Right, so we can accelerate now, so flaps can come up.
Artavia 995.
Let the airplane accelerate, looking for 140 knots. And we're just tracking outbound on the 264 radial. And
Cleared direct RUBRI.
knots.
Resume own navigation. Artavia 995.
And we're just coming up to 2,300. Very stable, this aeroplane. It's very pleasing to fly. So 2,500, so round we go. And we keep a rate 1 turn, which is roughly there. And we'll just keep that going. So we've got Pantelleria dialed into number 1. So this is actually pointing to where we want to roll out, this needle here. And I'm looking for 140 knots, which I've pretty much got. We should change to climb power, but we can't because it's single pilot operation at the moment. So we're just going to maintain rate 1 turn and come round. I'm just going to move the heading bug round, and we're going to roll out roughly when it's about 150, 160, I guess, something like that. Oops, just keep that turn going and keep that speed. Look how stable it is, it's lovely. So we'll keep that speed, keep that speed, keep that speed, and you can see that on the RMI the needle's coming around to about 120 or so. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. So we're on about 120 now, that single needle there. There's the island coming back into view. You should see the airport somewhere there. There it is. There's the high ground. We've got to be over the high ground at 4,000 feet or above. Keep that turn going. We're going to roll out. roll out momentarily. Can't see the heading bug anymore. I seem to have gone all the way around and missed the stop. Okay, so let's keep coming round. Oops, getting a bit too fast. We'll just increase our climb angle a bit. Okay, so now we're pointing directly at the VOR, and we're just going to keep on this heading. So autopilot can come in, flight director, heading knob, and airspeed. There we go. So we're good. I'm going to switch off my landing lights, taxi lights. We're coming up 6,000 feet. We need to go to standard pressure. There we go. We're climbing at 150. That's okay. It's a bit fast, but I'm happy with that. So we're just about coming over the VOR now, and we need to fly outbound on the 155 radial. So there we go. We're over the VOR now. So just going to move the heading knob now to 155, which it is, and I'm going to dial in 155 on the course. And we'll see where we are with that. Then we need to get some climb power going, really. So 155. We've got, and we can go now to VOR. There we go.
131.1. Bye-bye.
Lovely. So we're now
Contact route radar 131.1. Art of
and we're just going to bring the fuel pot levers back a little bit and just bring the power back.
Art of 995. Good day. Climbing flight level 073 for flight level 100.
So we're climbing at about 1,200 feet per
Arcavia
minute.
995. Room radar. Radar contact. Climb to flight level 130.
130, we've got clearance too.
Climb to flight level 130, Art of 995.
Okay, so 8,000 feet, we're looking for 10 to get them out of their seats, and that's all good. To climb, really what we need is to get the prop sync on. And we'll leave the fuel trims where they are, but maybe at cruise we'll drop them down a little bit. Okay, so we are now outbound on the 155 radial from Pantelleria, and we're looking for 14 DME, and then we'll be at RUBRI. After RUBRI, okay, we want to track the 146 radial out from Pantelleria, because that will take us to EMCOL, which is here. So we need to dial in 146 after we get to RUBRI. So that's 14 miles we're looking for. And we're going 7.5, coming up to 8. So we're just below 10,000. Flight level 100 really, more accurately. Not much to see. We can hide the co-pilot spot, the little click spot just here, you can get to it. There we go, come on. 10,000 feet, we can let them out of their seats. Fasten seat belts, so we can just bing bong the flight attendant to go and serve them coffee. So it's a very short flight, so we really won't have much time to do anything terribly exciting in the back. No 3-course meal or anything like that. Okay, so I think we're good. Tiny little island. Sicily is over there, and Lampedusa That is over there, yonder in the sunshine. Africa down there. Probably Africa there, actually. Just about see it. Amazing aircraft this is. Just for free. What a gentleman to deliver this to the flight community. Wow. Just my cup of tea. Anyway, let's see how we're getting on. 13 miles, looking for 14 miles. So just 13 and a half now. And we're 11 and a half, flight level 115. So 14 miles we've got. We want to dial in 146. 146. 146. So we want to turn right to 10 to set that. We'll come round about like that. It won't be long before this course deviation comes in. Oops, no, I need to go to heading mode. That's a naughty boy there. Sorry, and it's, in fact, the course deviation bus coming in, so we need to get back where we came from pretty much straight away. There we go. My bad. I was still on the VOR.
From radar, Category 17 Bravo Heavy, flight lesson 320.
So we're about half scale deflection now on the course deviation
Category
bar.
17 Bravo
That
Heavy,
will come
room
in
radar, radar
eventually,
contact.
I hope. Might need to take more of a cut, but I can see it edging in. So we're just coming up to flight level 130. So we need to start thinking about levelling off. And to do that, we'll just reduce the rate of climb, so when eventually we get to 130, it's only a couple hundred feet away, not going to be too much of a change for the passengers. So I'm just going to roll this wheel forward. That will reduce our rate of climb. Like that. Okay. I'm just coming up now to 130. Any second. 130, and I press altitude hold. There we go, altitude hold we've got. So we're now level at 130, and the aircraft will accelerate, hopefully, and then we'll pull it back into cruise power. The CDI is just coming in ever so slowly though, and then we'll look at our, what we need to do to plan our arrival. So we're tracking outbound on Pantelleria on a 146 radial, and it's 69 miles or 70 miles, and that will take us to EMCOL. So that course deviation bar is nearly all the way in, and the aircraft is just speeding up 180 knots. Might get to about 190, we'll see. So it's just coming in. Bring the heading around a bit more.
Arcadia 995, contact Malta
And
Control
now that course deviation bar is pretty much aligned, so we can just go to VOR mode.
Contact Malta Control
And now we're tracking
122.775 Art Ovia
properly
995.
on the 146 radial.
Malta Control, Art Ovia 995, flight level 130.
Just centering the heading by. Always good airmanship to do that. Okay, so 192 on the speed,
Identified.
and we'll just pull back the power a little bit. We won't go too fast. Okay, so let's have a look at the approach. So the EMCOL arrival begins at this waypoint EMCOL at or above flight level 065. Then it's a 17 DME arc from Lampedusa 108.6. So what the trick is, we need to get EMCOL at flight level 065 or above, but no lower. So we are at flight level 130, so we've got to lose roughly 7,000 feet, give or take, 7,000 feet, times 3 is 21. So let's call it 20 miles from EMCOL, we need to start descending. And we know that EMCOL is 69 miles from Pantelleria. So 20 miles, so when we get to I just need to double check this. So with 20 miles to run, it's going to take us about there-ish. Okay, so what I need to do just to check that distance there. That's 50 miles. So 50 miles from Pantelleria is where I need to start my descent. Okay, Pantelleria, by the way, VOR DME, if you right click on it and do show information of VOR Pantelleria, you can see it's got a 100-mile range. So we'll easily be in its range. Okay, so we're looking for 50 miles from Pantelleria, and at the moment we are 32. So we've only got 18 to run. And we're just over 200 knots. Look at that. That's pretty good. Can we see that? We can see the island.
Molta control. Expect MCOL 1 Charlie. Runway 26.
So we've only got 15 to run now to our top of descent. We need to get...
Expect MCOL 1 Charlie, runway 26 at Ovia 995.
Okay. And we'll call ready for descent in a bit. Now what happens is that beyond ATC, it tells you what to, it gives you vectors. I don't want vectors. So I'm a bit like the departure. They told me to, you know, to turn left, turn right and go direct. But I'm radio, old school radios here. Like, I haven't got RNAV capability. So I just ignore what they say. All I'm really interested in is the clearance to land at the other end. Let's see if they give it to me. So we're 37 miles out, so another 12 or so to run to get to our top of descent. This aeroplane does gain a lot of speed when you start coming downhill. Now we are got a max indicated here, 220 knots, so we don't want to go above that. So we do need to pull those power levers back. So we're now about 40 miles out. Another 10 to run. And the approach, VOR, begins at Bolfu at 2,000 feet. You get to Pigalle, which is 5.7 DME from Lampedusa 108.6. Then you start a descent, roughly will be 120, 140 knots, so 650, 750 feet per minute. Our MDA, minimum descent altitude, 500 feet. But yeah, I'm not expecting there to be any weather issues. We've got no clouds detected at Lampedusa, so it's going to be very similar to the weather we had at Pantelleria. So anyway, let's get the star back on. So 108.6. So 43 miles. So we're looking for 50. And I'll probably strap them in fairly early. So 46. And what was that frequency again? 108.6. So just a couple of miles now from our top of descent. So what I'm going to do is just start slowing the aircraft down a little bit, because otherwise we could just lose or gain too much speed. So just slow it down now. 48 miles. There we go. So the aircraft is slowing down.
Artavia 995, MCOL 1 Charlie, runway 26. Report ready for descent.
MCOL 1 Charlie, runway 26 cool when ready, Art Ovia 995.
So, cool, ready for descent now, and I'm going to come
Art
stop
Ovia
anymore.
995,
So
ready
we're going
for
to come
descent.
down at about 1500 feet per minute.
Artavia 995, descend to flight level 090.
090. Well, we're not going to do as they ask because they
Descent to
will
flight
not give
level
us vectors. And
090,
I don't want
Artavia
that. Do
995.
this old school. So come down about 1500 feet per minute. Again, we're speeding up, so I don't want to do that. So just bring back the power levers a little bit.
Artavia 995, contact Lampedusa approach 118.03.
Contact Lampedusa approach 118.03, Artavia 995. Lampedusa, Artavia
Okay,
995.
so-
Good day, flight level 120.
Artavia 995 Lampedusa approach. Good day. QNH 1022, expect the RNAV runway 26.
QNH 1022, expect the RNAV runway 26, Artavia 995.
Okay, so the RNAV. Don't think we can do that, but we're going to do the VOR with the VOR DME approach. I just need to slow this thing down because it keeps nudging up to 220 knots. Stop it. Stop it. 10,000 feet, pretty much. There we go. Let's see if that's enough to keep the speed at bay. 10,000 feet. Let's just strap them in, and we'll tell the crew to start tidying up the cabin. So we're looking for 17 miles. So let's get a little nav map. That's not me. I haven't got the aircraft switched on, so that's not me there. That is 21 miles. So EMCOL is 21 miles from Lampedusa. So I'm just going to fly straight along here and just pick up the DME arc. Probably not very good procedure to do it that way, but heck. So 9,000 feet, and we have got 69 miles will be at EMCOL. And we can keep descending. Our clearance is down to 9,000, I think it is, but you know, we're doing this with or without their permission. So, okay, so we've got 63. Looking for 69. So I'm going to get the heading bug set because we want to go off on a tangent. So let's try 100. Okay. Let's get 1086 set on box 2. 1086 is on box 2. So box 2 is pointing to Lampedusa. EMCOL is on the 007 radial from Lampedusa. 19 miles it says. Well, I worked out 20 I think it was. 19 miles. I'm happy with that. 66 to 3 more to run. Well, less than 3. We're descending to an altitude, so I'm good to go on to QNH, and we've got that. It's 1022. 1022 is set. And this is a 17 DME arc. Okay. 69 miles is coming up now. 69 miles, going to go to heading mode. I'm going to change this to 1086. We want inbound.
Artavia 995, descend to 4,000 feet. QNH 1022.
258.
Descend to 4,000 feet. QNH 1022, Artavia 995.
258. So I'm looking for 258. I need to go to the DME as well. 258. Set and 108.6 set here. 108.6. 108.6 set. So we've got the DME reading now. We're at 19 miles. It's a 17 mile arc. So we're a little bit out of that. We'll just come around a bit more. Take up heading 120. And we're clear down to, well, we're going to come down to 4,000 feet, but our approach should start at 2,000, so I'm happy with 2,000. So I'm just going to lessen that descent rate. Okay, so we've got 19 miles. And we're on box 1 and 2 here, so these needles will stay together. And every time these move by 10, we'll move this by 10. So we're on 18, so we'll come around another 10. – 4,000 feet we have. And remember, our inbound is 258. There's 24, 25, 26. There it is, pretty much there. When this needle gets to there, we'll be on the approach track. So just coming up to 3,500 feet. So lessen our descent rate. So we've got a nice smooth transition. We don't want to be going too fast. So we're at 19 miles. We're a little bit outside. Do you know what? I'm not too worried about it. We'll come around another 10 degrees because that's moved 10 degrees. It's on 220 now. – 3,000 feet. I'm looking at H1022. Can you see the island? Yeah. Where is it? Somewhere. It's somewhere there. There it is. Okay. So let's get landing lights on, because we won't be able to do that later because we'll be far too busy. 2,000. So let's come around another 10 because that's now on 230 pretty much. Come around another 10. We're on 18 miles, so we're a little bit out, but you know, that's okay. 2,400, gonna lessen that descent rate. Okay, and we're now at 230 on this. Coming around to 235, come around to another 10. We're nearly there, another 10. See when this comes around to 258, so it's just about there. We're nearly there. Whoops, 258. That was the wrong one. Okay, oops. There we go, another 10. And it's just coming in. Oops, 2,000 feet. Let's get that altitude hold on. I'm going to climb back up to 2,000. Another 10. We'll let the speed bleed off. 2000 we've got. Altitude hold can come on, and that needle, that course deviation is going to come in any second. Well, actually, maybe I'm panicking too early. Still got another 20 to run, 20 degrees to go. That's okay. Let's just remind ourselves what the descent should be at 5.7 from Lampedusa. We're at 14 at the moment. We can go flaps 1 shortly, and we'll just tell the cabin that we're just we'll get our taxi light is on. We can come around another. We come up to 250 and we're at 258, so it really is just a matter of moments now. In fact, you can see it coming in. Just bring it round. So it's just coming in shortly. Okay, and we'll just keep on that until that course deviation bar is in. 12 miles, just coming up to flap speed. You will come in with a vengeance. There's only 8 degrees to go. So coming up to flap speed shortly, then it really will start slowing down. Landing, so prop skink can come off. Maybe not. Didn't hear what the wind was. Maybe it's a huge amount of wind. I don't know.
Arcadia
Well,
995, 2 miles from Bosu. Turn left, heading 195, maintain 2,000 feet until established. Cleared RNAV runway 26.
Is it
Turn
coming
left,
in?
heading 195,
that was a
2,000
bit
feet until established.
overzealous
Cleared
that
on
last
runway
turn.
26,
It should
RW
come in
995.
Any second, please. Right, flap speed, so we go flap 1 and flap 2.
Arcadia 995,
Give us nice
contact
control.
Lampedusa Tower 123.5.
Now it's coming in.
Over to tower 123.5, Artovia
And
995.
just
Have a good
stay on
day.
this heading because I really do want that to come in, because we've got
Lampedusa Tower,
5.8 I think
Artovia
it was.
995, RNAV runway 26.
5.7. So it's coming in.
Arcadia 995, Lampedusa Tower, wind 195 at 8, runway 26 cleared to
Too
land.
slow. So we're at 130
Runway
knots.
26 cleared to land, Artovia 995.
Okay, we're at 9 miles, or 8.5 miles. That VOR is coming in ever so slowly. Goodness me, the torture. So landing lights are on, passenger signs are on, cabin is secure, and just waiting for the course deviation bar to come in, which should be imminent, I promise. So in we come. Come on. That's a come around by another 5 degrees, because it's got to be soon. Has to be. Because if you don't do this properly, then the it tends to try and take the right cut. Right, so VOR we're on. Okay, so it takes too much of a large cut. So 258 needs to come on the heading. 258 we have. We're looking for 5.7. We're just coming up to 6. Gear can come down. Have a look at that. There you go. I love it. Look at that. Another stage of flap, and what we'll do at 5.8 miles, which we've got, will come down, do we say at 650 to 750 feet per minute. So down we go. And we've got 1 stage of flap to go. So we're at 115 on the speed. We're on the inbound track, and we're coming down. Let's have a look. There we go. Look, runway dead ahead. And we've got clear to land, so we just checked. Lights definitely on, and we're all secure, ship shape. What we're going to do is put the HP fuel levers forward a bit, and we're good-ish. So, tiny little holiday island, Lampedusa. Very, very hot. Very, very expensive. Right, so flight autopilot is coming off. Autopilot is off. Flight director is off. We're going to come in visually. So we're going to put the 2 HP fuel cocks to fully forward. One more stage of flap. Don't want to get any slower than this. 115. Thank you. So we're going to control speed with pitch. I'm ready to set with power. There we go. So there we go. Here we go. I wonder what there is on this island that makes people. So, Lampedusa. It looks like we're a tiny bit high. Yeah. So we'll just increase our rector, so pull back the power lever. Don't want to slow down too much. There's a harbour right at the other end of the runway. Yeah, we are way too high. Come on. Do a bit of cross controls. Of course, you don't really do that in an airline. Are we in an airline? Well, maybe we are. Or maybe we're not. So let's get a nice view out the front. So no radar altimeter on this, I don't think anyway. And let's just bring that nose up, bring the power levers back, idle and hold it off, hold it off. There we go.
We're down. That was close.
Thank you for the feedback. Very kind. There we go. Let's see if we can come off on this exit.
Atavia 995, exit next available taxiway.
Exit next available taxiway.
I don't think
Atavia
we've got bus stop on
995.
this. So we'll just come off here. And we'll get to the other side of the stop lines. And we'll clean up. Okay, so we'll come here. Just come to a stop. Flaps can come up. No, I don't want it to wind down. Stop it. I have had the engines die me if you bring back the power levers. So, taxi to ramp. There we go. That'll do.
Atavia 995, request taxi to the ramp.
At least if I'm held.
Atavia 995,
Wilco
welcome to
fuel
Lampedusa.
ejects
Say
here.
parking or advise if need assignment.
Of course, now you get all sorts of aircraft. Yeah, again, this is payware. I think there's another Volo di Sicilia aircraft on the apron, the ATR right ahead of us. It looks like Danish Air Transport, DAT colours, but it's actually Volo di Sicilia. Don't know if they're just rented, maybe, I don't know. So up this bit of ramp, there we go, thank you very much. And
Atavia 995, welcome to Lampedusa. Say parking or advise if need assignment.
so we'll go here. Well, we're not going to answer that because I'm too busy. Let's switch off the taxi light.
Atavia 995, Lampedusa Tower.
Okay, so let's get the parking braces on, bring the engines back to idle, and number 2 cut off,
Artavia
and
995.
number 1
See again ramp
cut
number.
off, and we'll invite them to put the thingy-me-jobby on. Okay, and now we can get rid of the beacon, anti-collision light, get rid of the fasten seatbelts light, then we can open up the doors and they can go and have a Campari soda somewhere, I think. So let's get the door open, steps, door open, steps. Let's have a look. Yep.
Artavia 995. See again ramp number.
Yes, I know. There you go. It looks like DAT, doesn't it? Pretty much it does. That's the registration as well, OY, so Oscar Yankee. So, here we go. Lampedusa. I think it's Jetstream Designs again, I think. And that is how you do Pantelleria to Lampedusa. Well, don't take it for gospel truth, but I think it worked out okay. I hope you enjoyed it.
Artavia
And I'll
995.
see you
See again
all on
ramp
the next
number.
one. I'm going to switch BATC off now because it's not to drive you. Any ramp. I could just say any ramp. And
Any ramp is fine. Artavia 995.
Any ramp. But bye-bye. I'm going to switch them off. Right. So, there we go. We're parked, happy. I'm off for Campari and olives. Take care. I'll see you on the next one. Bye now.